Okay, we got a great primetime game, 4:25 p.m. this Sunday. It's the Green Bay Packers, 11-6, at home against the 15-2 Detroit Lions. Okay, this Top of Mind is brought to you by Chevrolet. Football season is here, and whether you're grinding through the week or gearing up for kickoff, there's one ride that's always game ready, the Chevy Silverado. Built for the hustle and ready for the game, Silverado is America's most dependable full-size truck. Head to Chevy.com to learn more and build your own Chevy Silverado. Two outstanding offensive head coaches, and both these teams are well-rounded. The Detroit Lions, with Dan Campbell, have the number one offense from a year ago, and just about every skilled man and everybody on the offense is back. They also were a very good defensive team. Quietly, they were 7th in the league in scoring defense. It's a well-rounded Lion team. And Matt LaFleur has a very good young, matter of fact, the youngest team in the NFL coming back. They averaged 27 points a game last year, and they were 6th in the league in scoring defense. So you're going to see two of the best teams in the NFL go head-to-head. The Lions, back-to-back NFC North champions. They haven't won 3 straight since Bobby Lane was the quarterback. That's before Malisack was even on the planet. They are looking to do some damage here and start the season right. They have a difficult road schedule. If you look at the Lions' road schedule, you're going to go, damn, who hates the Lions? At Baltimore, at the Chiefs, they got a lot of playoff teams on the road, and this is the first one. The Packers at 11-6. They are a team, I think, with a new attitude. Coach LaFleur, they have a new CEO in place running the Packer organization. I think there's a little pressure here in Green Bay to just quit having good seasons. There's a big difference between having a winning season and a great season. And I think Green Bay now, with the trade of Micah Parsons, has sent the entire fan base, the entire locker room on notice. Let's get this done now. And it's a really exciting atmosphere in this Packer locker room. Last year, these two teams, they played twice, obviously, every year. Week 9 in Lambeau. Lions won this game 24-14. Kirby Joseph, their Pro Bowl safety, had a pick 6. And Dan Campbell, head coach of the Lions, went for it twice in the red zone. 4th and goal at the 3 early in the game. Touchdown, Amon-Ra St. Brown. 4th and 1 at the plus 15. He goes for it again, and Jahmyr Gibbs scores a touchdown. That was the difference on a very windy, cold day. Packers lost 24-14. Then a few weeks later, week 14, Lions win again, 34-31. Bates, walk-off field goal to win the game. And in that game, Clay, Dan Campbell went for it 5 times on 4th down. Who the hell does this? And he made 4 of them. 2 of them were touchdowns, 2 of them critical first downs. One of those first downs allowed Detroit to run out the clock and kick the field goal. So let's talk about Ramblin' Gamblin' Dan, I call him. You ever heard that song by Bob Seger? The Ramblin' Gamblin' Man? I say it's the Ramblin' Gamblin' Dan, man, because this guy went for it 33 times last year. That's a lot of guts, man. And he made 67% of them. But against Green Bay in 2 games, he went for it 7 times, made 6. 4 of them were touchdowns, and 2 of them were first downs. So that gambling paid off last year, and I think it's going to be a big part of this game. I think it's one of those anything goes games. I think LaFleur will go for it for Green Bay. He's probably standing over there saying, the hell with it, we're going for it. You got to have a plan to defend 4 downs in this game. Knock on a grease board if you're with me. The big headline in this game are the 2 pass rushers. Everybody's talking about Parsons, rightfully so. But the Detroit Lions are getting their premier pass rusher back as well. Aiden Hutchinson, 7.5 sacks right out of the gate last year. He was going to be the defensive player of the year. They get Hutchinson back. Green Bay didn't have to deal with Hutch last year. They got to see that big boy twice too. So it'll be fun to see Parsons debut. It'll be really fun to see Hutchinson back for the Detroit Lions. I'd like you to lock in on the Green Bay Packers for just a second. I coached there 3 years. Who cares, right? I care. But anyways, let me tell you, The Green Bay Packers are well known as a draft and develop team. You hear it every year from these fancy guys sitting in the studios. They draft and develop. They draft and develop. Well, you know why they draft and develop? It's part of their economic plan. I'm going to be a politician here. You see, when you keep your own players, when you draft your own guys and keep them, it becomes more responsible economically. It's cheaper. You guys with me on that, Jake? Yeah. So that's been a big part of their philosophy. You hear it every year. Boy, Green Bay drafts and develops. All these receivers drafted and developed. Shut up! You know what they just did? They did the same thing Ron Wolf did when I was in Green Bay. What'd we do to push the Packers over the top, Jake? Do you remember? Hand me that, Mike. Hand me that trophy right there. This is what the Packers did when I was there. We went out and got Reggie freaking White, the Minister of Defense. That isn't drafting and developing, is it? You think Xavier McKinney, who had 8 interceptions, is drafted and developing? No. You think Josh Jacobs was drafted and developed? Hell no. Green Bay is on a mission to win it all now. And Micah Parsons is their version of Reggie freaking White. Ready? Break. That's the mentality we got. To me, it's going to come down to the quarterbacks. And I think Detroit right now has the upper hand. I love Goff. Goff is 6-2 against the Packers. And you know how they have all these shareholders? They have 500,000 shareholders, right? You own stock in Green Bay. They don't have an owner walking around saying, hey, Clay, you screwed up the game, you're fired. They got 500,000 owners. And I think Jared Goff has stock in the Packers because he's 6-2. He shredded them for 13 touchdowns. And the Lions have won 3 straight games against Green Bay in Lambeau. So I don't think Goff is really, seeing ghosts while he's sleeping at night before the game. He's going up against Jordan Love. And if I were a sports fan, I would tune in and watch this young man. He's 1-4 against the Lions. He's going to be 27 years old. How old do you think Brett Favre was when he won his first Super Bowl in Green Bay, Clay? 27. How old do you think Aaron Rodgers was when he won his, Jake? 27. And Jordan Love is going to be 27 soon. You can only draft and develop so long. Pretty soon, you got to develop championships in Green Bay, and the pressure's on this kid. And I love it. He's got talent, but he's got to stay healthy. He's had knee problem last year in Brazil, groin problem last year in Jacksonville, thumb problem throughout training camp. He's got to play great, and he's got to have a huge impact in the outcome of this game. They got to beat Detroit. This kid needs to beat Goff. It'll be exciting to watch. The Lions have restored the roar. I just went off on the Packers. I'm going to go off on the Lions for a second. They're bad, they're horrible, they're bad, they're shitty. Guess what? They restored the roar. 15 wins, franchise record. But you can only roar so much. Roar! How about kicking the door down and getting to the Super Bowl for the first time and winning it? That's the mentality Dan Campbell has in Detroit. I was up there, man. This guy's one hell of a coach. He's on fire every day. Woo! I got goosebumps. I might have a little breakdown up here. Jesus. Anyways, they got to do more than restore the roar. Last couple points. Both of these offenses are big play offenses. You're going to actually see real routes. Passes thrown over 5 yards. These guys throw the ball down the field vertically. And what's going to really come into play is officiating. Do they call the pass interference? Don't they call the pass interference? I hate to say it, but if that flag is a good call or a bad call, that's what could impact this game. Keep an eye on how much these refs let these guys play down the field. It's really important. Both teams are excellent against the turnover ratio. Detroit +9. Last year, very good. And the Green Bay Packers under Matt LaFleur, that might be the best thing they do since he's been the head coach. They were +12 last year, 31 takeaways, which is uncommon. The last couple things, the injury list, let's take a look at the Detroit Lions. Don't even think the Lions are at full strength on defense. Last year, they got so many injuries, how do we even play? They got so many injuries. They still got injuries. Aleem McNeil, one of the best defensive linemen in the league, defensive tackle, he's out probably until midseason. Levi Onwuzurike, I don't think he's going to play all season. He's another very good defensive tackle. They got Josh Pascal, who's their third rusher. Guys do get tired. Marcus Davenport, Hutchinson, every once in a while needs a drink of Gatorade. Their third rusher's out of the game. And then they got Malcolm Rodriguez, an experienced linebacker. I don't think he's going to play. And keep an eye on Graham Glasgow, their new center. He moved in from guard to center. He's had some leg issues. I think he's going to play, but he might not be 100%. Taylor Decker, he's always had some injury issues at left tackle. There's some undisclosed things going on there. I think he'll play, but you better look into those two injuries before you do anything. And Terrion Arnold, their very good young corner, has had some hamstring tightness. This is a few days before the game. So before you do anything, make sure you zoom into these injuries. And for Green Bay over here, just know that Christian Watson, if you remember him from last year, over 20 yards a catch, he is out. Probably won't be back until later this season. Their backup center, a man named Monk, last name Monk, M-O-N-K, number 62, he is out for the year. So their backup center is an issue. They already moved Elton Jenkins, a very good guard, to center. Jenkins has had some back issues. Hell, I just got done watching the preseason game, Packers offense against the Colts. Sean Ryan, their right guard, was playing center. So they might have some issues if they get one more injury at center. Jordan Love, thumb problem. He is going to play. He's healthy. I think he's returned to practice at full tilt. But they got a lot of injuries, nicks and nags at wide receiver. Jaden Reed's missed a ton of camp with a foot problem. Dontavian Wicks, he's missed a ton of time with a calf injury. Jiminy Christmas. What'd you say, Jake? Jiminy Christmas. Xavier McKinney has missed a lot of time. Their Pro Bowl safety. I think he's going to play, but he's had some issues in camp. And the ex-Raider, who they're counting on to start at corner, Nate Hobbs, he had a foot procedure. He hasn't practiced at all in training camp. They're saying he might play, but how the hell do I know? You better look into that. Finally, let's just talk about the kickers. Brandon McManus of the Packers came in during the season last year, went 20 for 21, 30 for 30 on PATs and field goals. He's very good. And they have a Pro Bowl return man in Keyshawn Nixon. My old friend Rich Bisaccia of the Raiders is the special teams coach. And up in Detroit, they got a great coach there, Dave Phipp. F-I-P-P, say it with me, Phipp. He's a hell of a coach. They got Jake Bates, man, out of a cement house or something. He was making bricks. And they said, hey, you just sold me a dozen bricks. Can you kick field goals? He walks in and hits 19 in a row, man. Bates, the Bates Hotel. They got a Pro Bowl punter in Fox, and Khalif Raymond is a badass returner. This game has everything. A lot of emotion, a lot of excitement, and there's no place like football than Lambeau Field. Packers offense, Lions defense matchup is brought to you by Fox One. On Fox One, you can stream your favorite live sports. So you never miss that. Did you see that moment? That means Fox NFL Sundays are now on Fox One. NFL Sundays, all streaming live, the way it was supposed to be watched. Start your 7-day free trial today. Offers are subject to change. Go to Fox One for complete terms and conditions. Fox One, we live for live streaming now. Sign up today. Okay, let's take a look at the Green Bay Packers offense against the Detroit Lions defense. Whew, I'm still shaking, man. This is a very good offense. They've had a lot of continuity. I mean, these guys have been together for a period of years, and that's rare today in pro football. Normally, teams change coordinators and change players every week. These guys have been together for a while. They're balanced, and this is a run-first operation. They feature their best player, Josh Jacobs. They run the ball early in games, and they run it very well to set a tone. I think Green Bay led the league in first quarter rushing. So keep an eye on that in this ball game. If Green Bay can get the run game going, it opens up a lot of doors in their offense. It's a very creative offense. But I alert everybody to keep an eye on head coach Matt LaFleur in this game. He's going up against Kelvin Shepard, first-year coordinator for the Detroit Lions. And yeah, he's been there, and they've groomed him for this job. But Shepard will be excited. LaFleur, I look for him to do some things perhaps out of character. I think he's going to go for it on fourth down. He got victimized last year by the Lions, who converted 6 fourth downs. I would not be shocked if Matt LaFleur is more aggressive with his play calling this year. And I also think Malik Willis, he's number 2. Keep an eye on him. He's the backup quarterback. He did a great job last year coming in the game. He can run the ball. I look for the Packers to use Willis in some Taysom Hill-like situations. 3rd and short, red zone, tight red zone situations, end of game. Look for Malik Willis to do some things creatively in this game. They're also going to use the snap count. They're going to get a hard count, try to get Hutchinson, some of these eager Lions, to jump off sides and get a free play down the field. So if you're Detroit, man, you better be alert for those hard count free play opportunities that Matt LaFleur likes to use. Also, I would use a lot of up-tempo offense. You got a veteran offense. We've been together. They got a new defensive coordinator. Let's check out their communication. Let's jump the ball in a no-huddle offense. I look for Matt LaFleur to do some things in this first ball game that are very aggressive. Very important. Everybody understands the play-action pass and how important it is to this Packer offense. I mean, the best thing they do, 25% of their passes are off play action. And Jordan Love, Josh Jacobs, they make the plays look exactly the same. You don't know if it's a give. You don't know if he's keeping it and setting up some down-the-field shots. But keep an eye on that. This is a vertical pass offense. Al Davis, my old boss of the Raiders, would love this guy. 14 pass plays of over 40 yards. That ball travels down the field. It's exciting. Blitz pickups, I think, are going to be a big part of this game. The Lions are known to blitz quite a bit, so keep an eye on Josh Jacobs, Emmanuel Wilson, Chris Brooks. These 3 running backs, they better keep their eye on a swivel, because I know Kelvin Shepard's defense is aggressive, and they're going to blitz Jordan Love. Try to put him under duress and force him into some careless interceptions. The Hutchinson plan will be huge. I think you need to know this. It's pretty cool. When I was a broadcaster, we had all these cameras, and we had ISO cams, we called them. And that camera would isolate just one player. So I'm going to put a camera, if I'm broadcasting this game, I'm putting that camera on Hutchinson, number 97. And you better watch how the Packers help out against Hutchinson. Forget about picking up blitzes. I'm talking about having a back over there, chipping him, having a tight end, boom, hit him in his ribs before he releases. They must take Hutchinson out of the game. If he gets a lot of one-on-one opportunities, he's going to kick your ass because he's a heavyweight champion, man. This guy's really good. So keep an eye on that. Jordan Love, forget the stats for a second. Got to use your legs more this year. Scramble for more yards, more first downs, more second reaction plays. When Love is the most dangerous is when he's on the move, buying time, because he has this awkward release ability that I have not seen. So keep an eye on that as well. And finally, what does a crowd member say when your player drops a pass, Jake?
Damn!
What does he say, Clay? All together now after a drop. Yeah, that's what Green Bay heard a lot last year. Let's do it again. Exactly. It's just god-awful. They drop more passes. They got to catch the freaking ball, man, and get their confidence back. Very important. Plus, remember, Reed is mispractice. Wicks is mispractice. Your conditioning does get affected, yes? So what's the level of conditioning? How healthy are these guys? Let's find out. Last thing, when Hutchinson comes out of the game, I'm calling plays. You better have a coach say, Hutchinson's out of the game. That's when you take your shots, okay? That's when you're going to see Jordan Love drop back and heave it. So make a note, as a fan, when Hutchinson's out of the game, you should yell at the TV screen, launch it, let's fire it. That's really a big, big deal in this game. Detroit's defense, Kelvin Shepard, I think fans are going to love him. He's got the long hair, ex-linebacker. He is a fiery coach. I really was impressed with him, watching him on the field when I got to see him practice. Everybody's talking, well, we would have won the Super Bowl if we were healthy. Well, they're still not healthy. They don't have Aleem McNeil, perhaps their best defensive tackle. Without a doubt, he's their best. They still don't have Onwuzurike. He ain't coming back this year. And Pascal, their third rusher on the outside, is out. So they still have injuries. That's big, man. Too many big plays were allowed last year by the Lions. You know, they've got great safeties. Brian Branch, Kirby Joseph. But I remind you of this, Clay. The number one reason we call you a safety is to prevent big plays. They gave up 62 plays of 20 yards or more in the passing game. That led the league. That shit's got to stop, man. Otherwise, you lose games. They got to do a better job of that. They play a lot of man coverage. Keep an eye on that. Not many people play man-to-man coverage as consistently as Detroit, and that helps them against all these RPOs. You know what an RPO stands for? Ridiculous protection offense. I hate RPOs. They're going to have to plaster to your man. Love is going to create. He's going to hold the ball 5, 4.5, 6 seconds and then launch it. So if you're in coverage, you got to plaster to your guy sometimes for a long time. Make sure you're aware of that word plaster. Have a plan now for Malik Willis. Don't be shocked after the game and say, well, they put Malik Willis in and they ran a read option. You better be ready for this guy, man. He's coming to a theater near you. How will Kelvin Shepard, the defensive coordinator, use Brian Branch, their outstanding safety? Branch, he's a hell of a player because he plays every position. I mean, he's number 32. Watch him. He'll be in the post one play deep. Then he'll be as a dime linebacker. They put him on the line of scrimmage to blitz. Then he's the nickel corner. I freaking love this guy. He is a weapon, and they're going to move him around a lot in this game, you'll see. Just take a look at some of the key matchups. Let's start up front, shall we, Jake? Aiden Hutchinson, number 97, 7.5 sacks last year in about 5 games. We're going to isolate him against Rasheed Wallace, the left tackle of the Packers. Now, Rasheed Wallace is in a battle, man. A lot of people thought he had the left tackle job won. He got a little nicked up, so they started Jordan Morgan, first-round draft choice out of Arizona a couple years ago at left tackle against the Colts. They go into the office after the game, they go, God dang, Jordan Morgan's pretty good, man. So you might see both these tackles, but both of them are going to see a lot of Hutchinson, I do believe. Because on the other side, right tackle Zach Tom, number 50. They just paid him a lot of money because he's a good pass protector, proven. So I think they're going to put Marcus Davenport, number 92, who will be playing for the first time in a long time, over there. So keep an eye on that matchup. Inside, the Packers have a new left guard, Aaron Banks. He came over from the 49ers, got paid, you know. They moved Elton Jenkins from left guard to center. Keep an eye on that. Jenkins has missed some practice time. He is a hell of a football player. He's played a little center in the past, but look for 74 Jenkins in the pivot. Sean Ryan will be the right guard as he was a year ago, and if need be, Ryan will be the backup center. And inside for the Lions, it's going to be DJ Reader. He's about as big gets, number 98. He's a great run defender, has a little bit of push in the pass rush, and the other defensive tackle will be rookie Tyleek Williams, first-round pick out of Ohio State. He had some really good snaps in college, not a lot of pass rush production, but they liken him to McNeil, the man they're missing. They need Williams to have a great game tonight against the Packers, man, because if it doesn't come from him, I don't know where the inside pass rush is coming, man. It's very important he gives it to him. They got this Lopez kid they signed in free agency. He'll be a backup player. They don't have a lot of depth, and it's a concern. One of the wild cards to look for in this game is the return of Derek Barnes, number 55. He got hurt last year, missed almost the entire season. He's a linebacker in the media guide, but he becomes an extra rusher in some nickel situations. With Pascal out, Derek Barnes might play a huge role in this football game. And they also have 2 very good linebackers. They're led by Jack Campbell. He wears the green dot. He's a lot like Dan Campbell, man. They have a great football gene. He had 131 tackles, great communicator. This is his defense. He's surprisingly better in coverage than you think. And if you're into effort, watch Jack Campbell, number 46. Anzalone is back at the other linebacker. I love Alex Anzalone. His play style, his play speed, very good. He recognizes plays, and he is a contact player, man. 2 very good linebackers. They're going to have to deal with Josh Jacobs, number 8, the ex-Raider. 1,350 yards, 15 touchdowns, over 300 carries, and he caught 36 passes. And he has a backup, Emmanuel Wilson, who comes out of nowhere last year, gets 500 yards. Keep an eye on 31, Emmanuel Wilson. He is no joke, man. This guy's dangerous. Hell, he averaged almost 5 yards a carry and 4 touchdowns. Chris Brooks, he'll come into the game, number 31, and pick up a blitz for you. Veteran backs, and it's all going to come down to the Love Show. The Love Boat, man. What's he going to do? I can't wait to see it. And he's got some matchups on the outside I think you got to keep an eye on. The most important guy to keep an eye on the Packers offense when they throw the ball is their rookie first-round pick, Matthew Golden. He is a hell of a player, and he has speed. 4.38 speed. He's probably going to say, I was a lot faster than that. I think he was. He's wearing number 22. This guy is a jet. He can line up in the slot. He can line up at split end or flanker. He runs all the routes. He's an excellent returner also. And I look for DJ Reed, the Lions free agent acquisition from the Jets, to be a big part of this coverage plan. This is a hell of a matchup to keep an eye on, Golden and Reed. In the slot, you know Jaden Reed is a very good player. He has some injuries. We don't know how healthy that foot is, but he had 857 yards of receiving last year, 6 touchdowns. This is the guy that will carry the ball a lot on jet sweeps. They'll put him in the backfield. He's a very good yards after the catch guy. And he's going up against Amik Robertson, one of my old Raiders in the slot. God dang, we got a lot of ex-Raiders. I thought you said I had some bad draft choices, Jake. Keep an eye on that in the slot. And over here, let's take a look at Terrion Arnold, outstanding second-year corner from Alabama. He was the guy I walked away from after watching the Lions for a few days. I was saying, wow, I did not know he was that big. He's got great length, tons of confidence. He doesn't give a rat's ass who he covers. Jamison Williams, Amon-Ra St. Brown, he's excited, I think, to play, but keep an eye on his hamstring. Romeo Doubs, Dontavian Wicks, 2 veteran Packer wide receivers, better be ready for Arnold. And lastly, watch out for these 2 Lions safeties. They are really good. Kirby Joseph, 9 interceptions led the NFL last year. Nobody better at reading the quarterback. He's an eraser one-on-one tackler, got sideline to sideline range. And Brian Branch is a real weapon. 110 tackles, 4 picks, versatile player. They must keep an eye on Tucker Kraft, number 85. He is very good. 700 yards receiving, a ton of damage after the catch. He can detach, he cross-sifts, he can do a lot of stuff in the running game. Love him. And secret weapon, number 88, Luke Musgrave. The hell happened to him? He's a second-round pick out of Oregon State. Got hurt most of last year. Where is he? He reminds me of Mike Gesicki, the tight end of the Bengals. They have a weapon here, very talented. I would like to see what Matt LaFleur is going to do with his 2 tight ends, given all these injuries to the receivers. This has got a lot of great stuff, doesn't it? Okay, the Detroit Lion offense against the Green Bay Packer defense. I don't think I'm going to get up out of my chair during the whole game. The Lions have a historic offense. The numbers they put together last year, amazing. We're not going to get into that. I think you should know that by now. The Packers, under defensive coordinator Jeff Hatley, are on the rise. They were 6th in the league in scoring defense, 31 turnovers last year. They just picked up Micah Parsons. How'd you like to be them? And this guy walks in from the Dallas Cowboys. He's going to be wearing number 1. I don't know about that number selection personally, but this defense, we used to tell our crowd when we had Sapp, Simeon Rice, Barber Lynch, all these great players, the measuring stick is the best offense. So you're going to find a lot about yourself against Jared Goff, Gibbs, and company. This is a measuring stick game for both teams. Let's see how good we are right away. The Lions, they got to deal with the crowd noise. That's very important. Graham Glasgow, new centers, missed some time on the practice field. The Lions do a lot at the line of scrimmage. Forget about the center quarterback exchange. They got a rookie right guard. They got a young left guard in Christian Mahogany. You got to make the calls. You know, the center just doesn't stand there. The center's like, hey, bang R. No. Hey, Ringo 52, bang L. You got to be on the same what?
Wavelength.
The same page. We don't say wavelength. What the hell's that? They got to deal with the noise. The Lions have versatile players, man. They can line up everywhere. Jahmyr Gibbs can line up as a fullback, halfback, tight end, slot receiver, shit. So can Laporta, so can Amon-Ra St. Brown. They have badass players, and the ball distribution is incredible. I mean, they got 5 different guys that can score in the red zone on every play. They can run it, throw it, balanced, badass ball distribution. You got to remember that when you watch Detroit. It's incredible. They use a lot of motion and shifting before the ball is snapped. Jared Goff, he's doing it to recognize the coverage. He's doing it to see the matchups. RCE, you'll hear it from me a lot. I went to Detroit. They had hats on that said RCE. He is a great quarterback recognizing the defense. So is their center. And that leads to communication. And when they can recognize your defense and communicate the best possible play, that's when you see incredible execution. Jahmyr Gibbs is running into premier looks. Jamison Williams is one-on-one coverage. Goff's giving him a 50-50 shot ball. And if you play a split coverage, St. Brown will kill you underneath with these choice routes. But it's a hell of a testament to them. They have a 4-down mentality. Why wouldn't you? I mean, give Dan Campbell a lot of credit. But he's got the best players in the league, man. And they can do just about anything at the line of scrimmage. So there's tremendous confidence between the head coach and the quarterback. They will do some unorthodox things. I don't know if new offensive coordinator John Morton will do as much as Ben Johnson did, but there was a lot of gadget plays, jumbo formations with a 6th offensive lineman being a tackle, taking a tight end out of the game. Some crazy stuff. We'll see if that continues. The Lions, when you watch them carefully, a lot of bunch formations, compressed formations. Rarely will you see 2 receivers outside the numbers. They pack these splits. They bring them in tight to try to help their receivers get free releases and to put them all in blocking positions. It's really unique. They also have a route tree where these guys will spray their releases. They'll get their width and their depth that they explode out of there, man. And these guys can run some routes. Fun to watch if you really like guys that run routes fast and furious. Very creative. Again, the pass protection plan, as we said about Green Bay's offense against Hutchinson, the Lions must be alert for some occasional blitzes. The Packers are going to want to get Parsons one-on-one, Rashawn Gary one-on-one. They're going to try to do that by blitzing. And when there is an opportunity to help, it's a big deal in this game, man. We should have vicious help. If you're a running back, take away the speed rush with the chip. If you're a tight end, take away the speed rush with a nudge. That help system is the winning edge for both of these offenses. Finally, Jared Goff, his statistics, unbelievable. Ball security, you name it, he does it all. It's the play action pass that is the number 1 weapon in the Lions offense. 37% of all passes are play action passes. That's astonishing. They're number 1 in the league in yards with play action passes, completions, and touchdowns. So you're going to have to play from recovery if you're a Green Bay Packer defender. They're going to hand the ball to Gibbs. You better step up there and tackle that sucker. Then they're going to hand it to Montgomery. He's fresh as a daisy, and you better get 2 guys to get up and get him. And then all of a sudden, they fake it to him. And now you're up here, and you're like, oh, shit. And you got to turn around to the junction of where your zone is and be a pass defender. So that's huge. Now, the Packers defense, led by Jeff Hatley, they're emerging. They're young, they're exciting, and now they get really, really exciting with Micah Parsons, the ex-Dallas Cowboy. Year 2 of Jeff Hatley's system. Players get better with repetition. The players are going to be better because they know their defensive coordinator and what he wants. So they're ascending, and they add the Parsons factor, which is going to really give them some juice. We've already talked about it. One of the keys to this game is playing from recovery, biting on a play action and recovering. I think they're going to do as much as they can do to create one-on-ones for Parsons as the Lions are doing for Hutchinson. You might see some blitzing. They didn't blitz a lot last year. You might see a little bit more blitzing, so that running back, he's got to go pick up the blitz. And now he can't help against this great pass rusher. I also think you're going to see a lot of illusions of blitz. And I hated this as an offensive coach. you got linebackers standing right up in your face. And the running back's got to block this guy. So the running back's attention is on his responsibility. He totally forgets about Hutchinson. He totally forgets about Parsons. So knock on a grease board if you're with me. Occasional blitzing, the illusion of blitzing to try to free Parsons or Sean Gary to get some one-on-ones. Don't play a lot of man-to-man against Jared Goff. You know, Jared Goff threw for 71%, 20 touchdowns and no picks against man coverage last year. Hello, don't do that. They're going to play zone coverage. They're going to disguise their coverages, occasional pressure, illusion of pressure, more zone coverage, maybe a zone blitz, but they're going to play all kinds of different zone coverages against Goff and try to get pressure against this young, beat-up offensive line. Very important that the run defense, we analyze it. They just lost, okay, Slayton, a big nose tackle who signed with the Cincinnati Bengals. Okay, he's gone. We still got Kenny Clark. Oh, no, you don't. He's in Dallas. You just traded him. So you lost two of your top inside tackles from a year ago. And they were a good defense, man. So these players over here need to get as much attention, I think, as Micah Parsons does. Who's it going to be that steps up inside for Kenny Clark and Slayton? Shit, somebody's got to do it. Carl Brooks, number 94, sixth-round pick out of Bowling Green. Number 93, who is this guy? Nazir Stackhouse. Shit, he's 6'4", 327. He's out of Georgia, but he didn't get drafted. We don't know. They know. They got 96, Colby Wooden, fourth-round pick 2 years ago out of Auburn. These three guys have to step up in here and play big-time shoulder pad football against a hell of a running game. You guys with me on that? That's big. Lastly, when you watch Hatley's defense, what impresses me the most is the effort they play with. I just love watching these guys run to the ball, man. And they are good tacklers. But guess what? It's never enough effort. And it's never enough good tackling against Jahmyr Gibbs and Amon-Ra St. Brown. Because the best in the world are coming to your place. So you got to have your best effort tackling game. Lastly, the crowd noise will affect the Lions offense, but the crowd noise affects the Packers defense because everybody in Lambeau, and not everybody, but a lot of these guys have had a couple beers. They're freaking loud, having a great time. And when Goff's in there underneath the center, your secondary can't hear. So, hey, down right. Hey, sky it, sky it, sky it. Box, box, box. You got to get these calls, man. So now you'll watch the Packer defense. Watch them carefully. They'll be making disguises. But what Jared Goff will do, he'll steal their disguises. He goes, hey, did you see that signal? They boxed it. So they'll come up with a box beater. It's really cool stuff, the communication on both sides of the ball. You love this, Jake?
Love it.
Let's take a look at some of the key matchups. The offensive line for the Lions concerns me because Jared Goff, as great as he is, he got hit more than any quarterback last year. He is the toughest sumbitch I've seen in the league. He'll stand right in there, throw a strike, kaboom! They don't have a backup quarterback that I know of. Kyle Allen is the backup quarterback. They just cut Hendon Hooker. Anything happens to Goff, good night. It's a big deal, man. This pass protection, Taylor Decker, good player. Ohio State, 68. He's been in and out of training camp with some injuries. He's had injuries in the past. Skipper, the backup tackle from a year ago, I don't see him in the media guide. So they have issues at left tackle, and guess who's in town? Micah Parsons. Nobody's had 12 or more sacks in their first 4 years since Reggie White. I'm not going to go into that rant again, but this guy is a complete badass. Keep an eye on Parsons, though. He missed a lot of camp time. From what I understand, he had a back MRI. They have all these issues. What kind of knowledge of the defense does he have? What is his conditioning and health? I don't know. But that is a big problem if he's one-on-one. And then inside, you see these three squares right here, Jake? Christian Mahogany is the new left guard. It used to be Graham Glasgow, but Glasgow moved from left guard to center. The new left guard, Christian Mahogany, sixth-round pick out of Boston College, just 2 career starts. You better keep an eye on that. Glasgow, we know, has a foot problem or a leg problem. Is he 100%? And the right guard's a rookie, Tate Ratledge. Might have been a really good college offensive lineman. This ain't college anymore. This is the NFL. It's your first game as a rookie in prime time. You like that, Jake? Yeah. The right tackle's great, Penei Sewell. And when you look at the lineups, I expect to see Parsons as many times as possible against Decker. I think Devontae Wyatt is one of my favorite Packers. He's got to play more. He's got to do what Jalen Carter did for the Eagles. Keep your ass on the field 80 to 85% of the time. Play the run, play the pass, and get after people's ass. You like that line, Jake? 95 is a really good player. I would expect him to go up against his former college teammate, Tate Ratledge, or go over here and do some work against Mahogany. And who's the inside tackle opposite of Devontae Wyatt? I already talked to you about these guys. I don't know much about them. All I know is Carl Brooks rejected a field goal for all you Bear fans late in the game last year. The other thing is the perimeter matchups. The Lions are loaded. Great slot receiver, Amon-Ra St. Brown, 115 catches, almost 1,312 touchdowns. His yards after the catch, his route tree, his ability without the ball is incredible. He will block your face off, man. This is a welterweight fighter. I guarantee you, you don't want to see this guy too many times. Superior suddenness, quickness, and strength. And they go to him in every key situation. He'll go up against Javon Bullard, number 20, second-year nickel out of Georgia. Really a good player. But Bullard will have his hands full. I expect them to get him some help. On the outside is Jamison Williams, 1,000-yard receiver last year, 7 touchdowns, and Keyshawn Nixon, the ex-Raider. I think that word, or those 2 words, red line, I think offensive coordinator Johnny Morton might not want to hold the ball a long time to get vertical crossers. He might just shoot the ball down the field and let Jamison Williams use his speed. Keep an eye on that. Long balls. Williams versus Keyshawn Nixon. Or over here on the other side, who is the other corner for Green Bay? I'm telling you, there's concern here. They brought in Nate Hobbs, another Raider. They gave him a lot of money to be a starting corner. He hasn't practiced the entire training camp. He had a foot procedure. Everybody says, oh, he'll be ready, he'll be ready, he'll be ready. Bullshit, you ain't ready until you prove you're ready. But I would expect the Lions to put Williams over here on Hobbs or his backup, Carrington Valentine, number 24. But keep an eye on this rookie, fantasy football fans. This man's name is Isaac Tesla. Great guy, I met him. He's from Arkansas. Every bit of 6'4". They let Tim Patrick go. Patrick had 33 catches last year, 400 yards. They traded up to get this dude. He is really something, had a great preseason, and he can roll. So keep an eye on him if you're Green Bay. Let's talk about the 2 safeties. Xavier McKinney, the ex-New York Giant. He's had some health issues in training camp. They say he'll be ready to go, but Xavier McKinney had 8 interceptions. Really good in coverage. I look for McKinney to match up against Sam Laporta, the Lions tight end, who's a very good receiving tight end. They'll use their second-year safety, Evan Williams, number 33 out of Oregon, more as a post player reading the quarterback. But they got to deal with Laporta, man. He's healthy now. He had an ankle last year that minimized some of his production, but the quarterback is very confident in Laporta's abilities. They also have another tight end named Brock Wright. You know how they do these play-action passes, Clay? Yeah. They sell the run. Well, they have to have a tight end in there that'll actually block so they can do this. And Brock Wright, number 89, does a lot of that. They might even use an extra offensive lineman. So keep an eye on Wright and the extra O-line to help protect some of these play-action passes. But really, I think where the rubber meets the road is the 2 running backs of the Detroit Lions. I don't really like Jahmyr Gibbs. I freaking love this guy, man. I got to go to Detroit. He's like Marshall Faulk to me. I mean, this guy is freaking awesome. 5.6 yards a carry, 16 touchdowns, 1,400 yards rushing. He catches 52 passes for over 500. I think they're going to get him more involved in the passing game than last year. This guy's magnificent. He proved he's a 3-down back. He's durable, and he has that stance. I gave Ashton Jenney all the credit, Jake, at the Super Bowl for standing like this. He's copying Jahmyr Gibbs. Watch his stance, young running backs. This guy stands like this. It's really cool. And when he takes off, It looks like a freaking jet airplane. Woo! He's fun to watch, man. They also got this big, nasty back. What do they call it? Sonic and Knuckles? Guess who Sonic is? That'll be Jahmyr freaking Gibbs. Then they got this David Montgomery. Honest to God, he's a shit-eating wildcat, man. This guy is freaking good. Tough as hell, physical between the tackles, punishing runner. I love the two of them. And they're going to go up against the Packer linebackers. Keep an eye on my guy, Edgerrin Cooper, number 56. I call him the edge of what, Jake? Darkness. The edge of darkness. He's going to be a superstar in this league. I think this guy and Micah Parsons together gives Green Bay two of the most exciting young players on defense. This guy got stronger in the offseason. He's in his second year of the system, so he's not just playing by instinct. He knows what he's looking at. 56 against Gibbs. I would pay cash money to go see that, man. I love that. And Quay Walker, their leading tackler, another Georgia Bulldog, over 100 grabs last year. Very good tackler and space player. They got Isaiah McDuffie, number 58, who had about 100 tackles last year as well. This is an excellent defense. You better be alert at corner. Who are these corners, man? Is it Hobbs? Is he healthy? Is it Valentine? We got to keep an eye on that. Parsons' debut, Green Bay, crowd noise. Let's go. All right, there's got to be a reason I'm dressed like this, you know. This is expensive gear, man. The chain, the diamonds, the glasses. I'm going to give you the winning edge. Every game has a winning edge. And to me, it's the fourth quarter pass rush. If you're sitting at home, when the game is on the line in the fourth quarter, they got the ball. We're on defense. We got to stop them. We have to have a fourth quarter pass rush. Who are those guys that come out there like the manager in baseball? He comes out in the ninth inning. He goes for the right-hander, and the guy comes out. Game over. Who are we bringing out here to close the game out? Well, for the Green Bay Packers, Jared Goff has the ball. They're down by 4, a minute 33 left. We got to go get him. Goff has 4 downs. So I go to my money pass rushers. The green team. You know what color's money, Clay? Green. That's why I got all this stuff on, you see. I'll give you guys necklaces, nice glasses. I'll buy you everything. You close this freaking game out. That's why Green Bay went out and got Reggie freaking White when I was there. That's why Micah Parsons is here in town. We're in number 1. We got Rashawn Gary. And I think in a must-have-it situation, I think the green team for the Packers will be Parsons. A lot of times you might see Micah isolated by himself because they're going to load the front with 3 other very good pass rushers on the other side. You're going to see Devontae Wyatt, 95. You'll see Gary, Rashad Gary, 7.5 sacks last year. And I think Luke Van Ness, first-round pick out of Iowa, or you'll see Brenton Cox, number 57. You might even see Kingsley Enikberi. But you're going to see 4 badasses that are going to rush the passer. And a lot of times in these load stunts, they put 3 guys on one side of the center. They isolate Parsons. So the center has to go that way. A lot of times they'll put the guard that way because there's all kind of stunts going on over there. They want this one-on-one. And if you think you're going to free release Gibbs, God help you, because Micah Parsons is one-on-one. The green team, the money pass rushers. That's the key to this game. I'm exhausted. I'm going to keep my glasses on. You know why? Because I got to pick the score of this game. I love the Lions. Everybody knows that. But you know who's going to win this game? The Packers green team. They're going to find a way to get a stop at the end of the game to win this game. Green Bay, 30. Detroit, 27.